this morning. I guess he's not around.
Oh yeah, we're live. So if he pops in, we'll let him in. All right.
Okay.
Well, hello again, all the boys and girls out there in YouTube land watching. John and Ellie of Georgia Beer Reviews back at you with another edition of Stout Sunday. And joining me this morning, we have Michael Kormaroff from Brooklyn.
Good morning.
And the one, the only Ronald J. Terrio of Louisiana Beer Reviews. We've already got a lot of people. Well, not a lot of people. We've got Blake in the chat, and we've got Craig Swinson in the chat. He is going to drink a Bosun chocolate stout and watch along with us. Cheers to you, Craig. All right, let's go ahead and get right into it, starting with Michael Kormaroff. What are you drinking this morning, Michael?
Okay. It's from Stillwater and Arizona Wilderness. It's a collaboration. Let me see if I get the bunny in the picture so you can see it. Stillwater is nothing. Big Bunny is everything. An 8% milk stout. And Stillwater is one of these companies that brews in different places. And this one they did in Arizona. They brew a lot of their stuff in Baltimore and in Stratford, Connecticut, in the same brewery at Two Roads where Evil Twin brews. So they do quite a bit of stuff, and this should be interesting.
All right. Ron, what are you drinking?
Well, thank you for the gift. I'm drinking the last one you gave me. It smells like bean spirit. It's from Octopi Brewing for a company called Microphone Brewing. This might be sold at Trader Joe's. I'm not sure because I know Octopi does a lot of Trader Joe's beers, but that doesn't mean they don't do beers for other companies. You know, it's 8% alcohol. I haven't been to Trader Joe's in months because there's a big line out in front and all this cocoa vid stuff, and it's driving me crazy, so I don't go in there. But anyway, thank you. This is a flavored beer. It's 8% stout with maple syrup, coffee from Tugboat Coffee, and hazelnut. So hard to believe a flavored beer in 2020, but I got a hold of one.
Yeah, a rarity these days. Those flavored beers are hard to come by.
Unless you go shopping for beer in any store.
Right. All right, and I am drinking a beer from Pontoon Brewing Company out of Sandy Springs, Georgia. This is the extra Irish Extra Stout. It is 6.5% alcohol, 40 IBUs. It is aged in Jameson casks. And I've never had it. I've had a lot of beers from Pontoon Brewing Company, so I have pretty high hopes for this. So I guess we'll go ahead and get into these bad boys, and we'll go back around to you, Michael. Why don't you tell us a little bit about
Now, in the glass, there is absolutely no head at all, and there was no head at the beginning either. So it's just, you see a little bit of carbonation at the top, but otherwise a pretty tranquil looking beer, very dark brown. Let me give it a nose. Getting some roasted malts in the nose. Let's see anything else I'm getting. I don't know, maybe a little bit of chocolate in the back, but it's very mild. Mostly roasted malts, I think, in the thing. Let me taste it.
Cheers, Michael.
Cheers to you.
Okay. I would guess that there is some lactose in this or something to make it a milk stout because it is very creamy tasting. It's funny, you'd think creamy tasting would mean there'd be a head, and there isn't, but it's creamy. It's malt forward. You're getting the roasted malts. Take another swig. It's very drinkable, and the alcohol is well masked. I guess it's the combination of whether it's lactose or milk sugars. They don't tell you specifically because it says water, malted barley, hops, yeast, and that's it. But there's something else in here. I don't think it's just those things because it's got a creamy feel to it.
It's labeled as a milk stout, though, right? So it's got to have.
Maybe it's a milk stout. It
Yeah.
probably has some additive in it. Maybe they're trying to impress, like it doesn't have, dangerous additives or whatever. But I'm enjoying it, and I guess if I'm going to pick on anything specifically, maybe the carbonation could be better. But I mean, there is carbonation in it. It's not flat. It could be, maybe the carbonation could be a little bit more upbeat for me. That's just a personal thing. But I'll come back and have a number for you.
All right. All righty. Let's go to Mr. Terrio with his Smells Like Bean Spirit.
Okay. Well, I've never had the beers you two guys are drinking, so I don't know what to say about those, except I'm sure I'd like them, or I would suppose I'd like them. Well, here it is. There was a thick head of foam, but you see it died away, and then there's no lacing whatsoever. It's just a black beer. Black beer. Some of these flavored beers, whether they're macro, middle crow, or micro, you'll notice that if they're 8% or above, the head of foam tends to fizz away, and then you're just left with the beer. So it's not like a macro only issue, as evidenced by this. I mean, no big deal. I don't care if it's got foam or not. I care if it tastes good or if it smells good, and it is good.
Right.
The aroma is like pancake syrup, coffee, cocoa, maple syrup, and specifically more than maple syrup. Actually, is more like log cabin syrup. And I know log cabin is a blend of like maybe a little bit of maple and corn syrup and maybe some cane syrup, because that's why log cabin is about $4 a bottle instead of maple syrup, which is going to probably be, if you got the same size bottle, it'll probably be $14. Charred malts, but not burnt. Smells really good. Now, cheers to you all. Thank you once again for this can.
Cheers.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Cheers.
What is this? Okay. Well, I wrote a written review on Rate Beer and Beer Advocate. I could read that, but I'll just tell you what I wrote. I said it was the same as the aroma. There's no hot bitterness. There's a little bitterness from char, but it's not burnt. It's like they brought it to the edge with the char, but they didn't go overboard. A lot of these companies, you get beer with heavily roasted malts, it just tastes like they burnt stuff. Like somebody says, I cooked the dinner and I burnt everything. And you say, well, it tastes like it. But this one is like to the precipice, but doesn't go over. There is some butter in it too. Now, I don't mean like a bad that's got butter. You know, people say that means it's bad. It's got butter. No, this is literally like a pancake or a waffle with butter on it. Now, I don't know if people want to drink pancake syrup, but that's kind of like what you're drinking. I mean, honestly, the body's high medium. It's a little velvety mouthfeel, a little bit, not too heavily that way. And there's a pancake syrup finish. It's a syrupy, sweet finish. I mean, what do you expect? Here's a guy diving, looks like he's parachuting, and he's chasing a hook that's got a maple syrup bottle. He's like skydiving after maple syrup. Well, that's what you're doing with this beer. You're drinking coffee and maple syrup. A beer purist might take issue with that.
Jay, is it nutty at all? Can you get any of the hazelnut in it?
Hazelnut? Yeah, kind of like, yeah. Like, remember they used to make the international, what were those instant coffees? And it had the flavors. What do they call it? International.
I know what you're talking about. You'd add it to your regular coffee.
Yeah, it was like Taster's Choice, and it was like.
Remember, I don't know the brand. I don't remember the brand, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it came in those little rectangle tins. It tastes kind of like that, and I mean, I guess you could buy a bunch of beer, but if you drink if you drink pancake syrup, it's not going to be 8% alcohol, and more than likely you'll get very sick. With this won't make you sick. Oh, one more thing. I was at River Ridge Hot Rods yesterday. They were being rather exuberant, let's call that. But they were smoking chicken and making baked beans, pork and beans, and David made a big potato salad, 2 big potato salads. I had some of the potato salad. It was very good. We reviewed a beer from the cellar, from the beer museum. And get this. Yeah, get this. It was a 2015 bottle of Terrapin's Tiramisu Moo-Hoo.
I have had that beer before. I don't think I've had the 2015 version, but I had the 2018 version of the Terrapin Moo-Hoo, which I thought was very good. So
yeah, this is Tiramisu Moo-Hoo, and it was 8.5% alcohol. It didn't taste old at all. We couldn't get over it. It was so good. And I say, well, one day this museum will be all gone, but it'll take a long time. But I asked David this morning, I said, how you feeling? He said, feel okay.
Well, it's good that he's taking stuff out of the museum to try, because how long can he keep some of it?
Right. Well, I'm feeling good, y'all, because I didn't go cray at the hot rod shop. I left when the getting was good and came home and took it easy, drank only 2 more beers. But that was a fun day, I guess, yesterday. Yeah.
all right. Well, I guess I'll go ahead with my beer here real quick. I've got the let me put it back up on the screen.
Oh, General Foods International Coffee. There you go. Triple J got it.
Okay. All right. So it poured almost black. When I hold it up to the light, I could see just a little bit of brown around the edges. Nice little thin film of head sticking around. It poured with probably a 2-finger head at first, which is obviously died down. Very malt forward. Getting some like sweet chocolate. I guess more milk chocolate than dark chocolate because it smells sweet. Little bit of a roasty note, like toasted bread, I guess, from the dark roasted malt. Really not getting anything that would indicate that this is aged, that this is barrel aged. There's no barrel presence on the aroma. I mean, Jameson is a very mild, mellow, easygoing product. Anyway, it's not like your bourbons, your single malt scotches. When you age stuff in barrels like that, you're going to get something, especially on the aroma. I'm not getting anything. It just smells like a standard, more malt forward stout. I mean, doesn't smell bad, just not exactly what I was expecting from the aroma. So let's go ahead and see what it tastes like. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, John.
Good to you.
Milk chocolate, a little vanilla. It's really, you're getting a lot of the roast in the middle. So dark toasted bread, a little astringency from that, a little bit of a bitterness, but I'm not picking up on like a hop bitterness just from the roast of the malt. No barrel presence on the palate either that I can detect. Let's get another sip. I don't know. Maybe I'm just used to these bourbon barrel aged stouts. This just really, I'm not getting any barrel presence really with this. The finish is very. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ron.
I was going to say, yeah, because think about it for a minute. Jameson, you already said it's mild. We know Jameson's mild. That's its selling point. Mild, easygoing, and mellow. You're looking for bold flavor, Jameson ain't going to work. If you're looking for something mild, easy to sip, Jameson's going to work. Secondly, Jameson is aged in used American whiskey barrels. Could be bourbon, might just be regular old whiskey. Well, if it's a used barrel, forget the char. That ain't going to happen. So the char is going to come into play for that. It's like using a tea bag. The first time you use a tea bag, that's where your flavor's coming in. You keep using the tea bag, you'd be lucky to taste any tea flavor. So to say that something's aged in a Jameson barrel, that's not really saying much. It's like saying, oh, I had this used tea bag. It's the 5th use. And people say, well, it's really bland. Oh, yeah, that's true.
More of a gimmicky thing, I think, with this, just because it's an Irish style stout, the Jameson Irish whiskey barrels. They wanted to be able to say that. That's why it's the extra Irish stout, because of the barrel aging. But yeah, there's really nothing there. It is very drying on the finish, very, very drying, which could be from the barrel aging. But as far as a barrel note on the palate and the aroma, not getting any of that. It's enjoyable though. I will say it's enjoyable. I paid, I think, $10.99 for the 4-pack of the 16-ounce cans. So I mean, it's not like I'm out a ton of money. But yeah, it is enjoyable.
You know, I bought a stout. I bought a 500 milliliter can of stout that was aged in Jameson barrels, and that thing was like $10 for one can. And you can imagine, I took issue with that.
On the 6-point that you had, do you remember the 6-point from the Master Blend series?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They had one in the limited release part that was aged in Jameson barrels, and that did have the effect, but maybe it was done longer is what I'm thinking. In other words, maybe Jameson is a mild effect, but if you leave it in for a really long time, and it was also a much higher alcohol thing, it was like 13.5% or something. So maybe the intensity is higher in it as well, which gave you more of the whiskey kind of barrel kind of presence on both the nose. I still have some of those left too. So I'm just kind of sitting, still in my refrigerator. I have 3 different Master Blends sitting in there, different, like I have 2 of one, 4 of another, and 6 of another, which I'm just sitting on.
Wow.
I will eventually drink them.
You're turning into David.
Well, but again, it's in a refrigerator. I don't know if that's going to keep it more, keep it as well or whatever. But if I really like something, I do try to keep it. But I guess, at some point I'll drink another one.
But then if you drink it, you won't have it.
That seems to be the theory of saving stuff, but I know it's hard to do. I know John has trouble doing it.
Don't you wish you could drink your beer and have it too?
Yeah, I'd like to. Every one I drink, I'd like another one to show up, to replace it.
Right.
That's not how life works. I know when John has stuff that he likes, he tries to say, I think I'll save one, but somehow it doesn't happen.
Yeah, I never. Well, I think if I had like a dedicated space to cellar beer, that would be one thing. But I have a 1-bedroom apartment. So like every time I open the fridge, these beers are staring me in the face. So eventually, yeah, they don't make it too long. Jeremy says, no mango stouts. What a disappointment. Not today, Jeremy.
Oh, Jeremy. He's always.
Okay, Robert is apologizing for not making it. Maybe
that's all right, Robert. You're a regular here. We know you got stuff to do.
Yeah, we sort of forgive you.
Yeah, right. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Robert, you're fired. You didn't show up to work.
Jeremy's fine.
Okay. Michael, are you ready with a rating for that beer?
Yes, I'm ready. And again, the main reason it would be an A, except for the carbonation issue. So because of the carbonation issue, it's losing a few points, and I'm going to give it a 90, which is an A- on my scale. Okay. The lowest
lowest A-.
Lowest A-. Plus, for me, 89 is the highest B+. But I know people.
Right. That's the best way to score it because it's clear cut.
but it's very good. I would recommend it. And if you do see this Stillwater collaboration, you could. It was very reasonably priced. I got to the co-op was $1.34. That's not a bad deal for an 8% stout.
Not bad at all. Some of these deals you get at the co-op are just insane. That's
You can't always get them though. I can't go back tomorrow and say I think I'll buy some more. If it's there, it's there, and if it's not, it's not.
But let's take into account how much are you paying per year to be a member of the co-op?
It's free, but I had to put in service. In other words, my wife, I didn't do this, so I give Audrey credit. You had to work 2 3/4 hours for 30 years every month. That was your service.
Okay, so time is money. So okay.
Now we're both retired, so we can shop there now at will. So that's a positive thing from the 30 years. And Audrey was involved in, fundraising and other things in the co-op, so she's more deeply involved in it than I am.
Right. And I'm not criticizing the co-op. I'm just thinking about it. I'm just bringing that up,
When I was working with a differing schedule, she had to work for me because I couldn't have a regular shift. My hours kept changing. So I couldn't do it, so she would work for me, which is worked out pretty well for me. I worked at the beginning in the first couple of years. After that, I didn't have a standard schedule, so I couldn't.
I bet you're glad you're not working for that municipality now.
Although it's funny now, from what I understand, they're putting in like we were in Rome a couple of years ago, and the bus drivers completely had these enclosed things. That's what they're doing now in New York. It's not gonna be friendly, hello bus driver. It's gonna be beaten on a screen. And if you have any questions, maybe they'll have a microphone so they can talk to you. But I guess the combination of the COVID and they just don't want bus drivers beat up or messed with anymore. You lose your personality, I think, as a city if your public servants can't make contact with the public. So I don't think it's a good thing, but it seems that's the way it's going now.
Yeah, that's the new world order. Everybody's a robot.
It's kind of sad in a way, but we have to just, I guess, go through. So I'm giving it a 90, which is an A-, but it's definitely a recommend. And I think you would both like it, but it could have more carbonation in it. That's my one proviso.
Okay. Have you guys ever heard of the Oscar Blues Swiss Guard flavor stout?
Someone posted a photo of it in alcohol eggs, but I've never had it. I heard about it.
Okay, just curious. I've never even heard of it.
Have you heard of this new Oscar Blues mustard beer that just came out?
I have. I thought it was a joke. Alex, the beer master, was talking to me about that the other day, and I just told him, I said, well, I think that's one of those, just.
No, I think it's real. Oscar Blues.
I think so.
It's real. Oscar Blues collaborated with French's mustard.
Yellow mustard. I think I would like to try it. I think it sounds interesting.
I would try it, but I don't know why somebody would think up something like that. That just seems very strange, but I would try. I think it's an IPA. I think it's great. Yeah.
Do you like mustard, by the way? If you don't like mustard, I would say probably.
I love mustard on a hot dog or hamburger, but it's not something I really think of when I think of beer. But hey, whatever, I'll try it.
I haven't seen it yet.
But give them a. Yeah, maybe the people that came up with the idea were sick and depraved. Give them a break.
Maybe a bunch of sick, depraved people over there at Oscar Blues.
Right. And plus, if you're drinking the beer, you could eat a corn dog. If you're drinking the beer, you could eat a corn dog, and you could bite the corn dog and drink the beer, and then bite the corn dog. And eat some sour.
Jeremy says Miracle Whip Stout.
That's the road we're heading down, Jeremy. Apparently, so
Jeremy
2021.
And Jeremy's
more Miracle Whip Stout, or the ketchup pale ale.
Right, he's more sick and depraved than the people that come up with these beers. So
that's funny.
All right, well, Ron, what are you thinking of the Smells Like Bean Spirit there?
First of all, I demand that Jeremy become a developer for craft beer aberrations. If y'all think mustard beer is bad, wait till he gets into the game. It'd be terrifying, but memorable. Well, I really like this stout. 1 is enough, like the TV show 8 is enough, but 8 would be a disastrous decision. 2 would be questionable, but 8%, 1 can is fine. I'm not sure if I really want to drink pancake syrup, but it is what it was designed to be. And if you didn't like it, you didn't have to buy it. So I'll give it a 95. A most excellent score. I know, and now we're enemies. I'm going to kick you out of Alcohol Eggs, and you can stop inviting me to hangouts because of that. But yeah, I really like it for what it is. I'm not saying I like what it is. I said I like it for what it is.
Right. That's fair. That's a fair score. I don't even think I did a review on my channel.
I didn't recall seeing it.
I don't think I did, and I'm not going to buy another 6-pack because it wasn't one of my, favorites. But I would have probably given it like an 85. It's a good beer, but way too sweet, not enough balance. So I would have dropped it down to a B. But I see why you rated it a 95. It is a wonderful breakfast style stout. It's just almost cloyingly sweet to me.
Yeah, I'm not that filled with hate but do you know, I did some research on YouTube and that there were no video reviews for that beer. So I was the first video reviewer for that beer in the world. And secondly, do you know that there's a 10.5% version of that?
No, I do not.
Yeah, it's called Smells Like Teen Spirit Hazelnut Imperial.
Okay.
Boy, that'll rock your breakfast.
I probably like that one better because all the sugary sweetness and all of that would mask the alcohol, and it'd be more appropriate for something that's that high alcohol versus.
Wait, you got it back. You said it backwards. You mean the alcohol would mask all the syrupy sweetness?
Well, yeah, maybe.
It would. You said that the syrupy sweetness would mask the alcohol, but you took issue with the syrupy sweetness. So
yeah, maybe the alcohol would cut through some of the sweetness. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Thank you.
And Jeremy really appreciates your comment. It's an honor, he says.
Thank you, Jeremy. And when you start that company, I'll actually be a consultant because I have some ideas that are not necessarily accepted in the beer community.
It's all right, Angela. I'm not really filled with hate. Don't worry.
No, only when it comes to pancake syrup flavored beers.
Great animosity towards super sweet pancake syrup flavored stouts.
Because you can feel your teeth rotting as you drink it.
Right, yeah. Well, as far as this stout is concerned, the extra Irish extra stout, it's good. It's got some pretty good malt character. It's not really balanced. There's no hops or anything that I'm detecting, and the barrel aging doesn't really come through. It is a very dry finishing stout, which Irish stouts are supposed to be dry, more on the dry side. Definitely getting that dryness, and I think that's from the barrel aging. But as far as any actual notes from the barrel aging, I'm not getting any. So I'm just going to go with a solid B. I'm going to go with an 85 out of 100. It is a good beer, but I won't buy it again. It's not anything that's really, knocking my socks off. But it's a good beer, and it would be a good introduction into barrel-aged stuff because it's really not going to throw you off or really overpower the palate with anything crazy. But
now, okay, 85 is nice.
Or not.
Because, Miller High Life might be an 85. But did you pay a lot of money for that 85?
No, well, I think it was $11.99 for the 4-pack, and they're 16-ounce cans. So there we go. Let me fix that. 85.
That's $3 a can.
Man, that's a lot of money for a B. I'm gonna tell you.
Well, yeah.
John didn't
But
know what it was. What
you
he
got
wanted.
so much money. I mean,
He was
what do
hoping
you?
for an A, and it just didn't work out. John, it's like anything else. It's like if you're a gold miner, you go into the gold mine and you hope you hit some gold. And if you don't, well, I guess that's it.
Oh, hey, I got a little. We're doing really good on time here. It's just the three of us. I've actually got a little show and tell. I really want Ron to see this because I know I'm sure he's probably heard of it, but let me go grab this real quick. I'll be right back.
He's implying that I'm an alcoholic.
So what do you think he has? Jay, what do you think John has that he's going to show you? Have any idea? I would say it's more likely hard liquor.
Yeah, he's got a glass pipe and he's going to ask us if we want to play baseball. No, I don't know. I don't know what he has. But I think it's like you. He's got some kind of hard liquor because
that's what I would guess anyway. I'm not sure though.
We got that little sideline.
Is it hard liquor?
No, it's not. I got it. Okay, I got two. I got a couple things here. The first one is this. It's the Pabst Blue Ribbon Hard Tea. You ever heard of that?
No. Yeah, I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
Right. Well, I've had the coffee, which I thought was really good. So I'm kind of I'm looking forward to this. I actually just bought a single, which was nice. It was like $1.29 for the single. I think maybe somebody busted open because they usually don't sell singles and stuff like this, but I think maybe somebody busted open the pack. Yeah. Dent in it, so I'm going to take full advantage of that. And then Michael, well, and Ron as well. But have you heard of this, Michael? The Marvel Roast?
No. It's funny you did a picture of it. You sent me yesterday. I've never heard of it. I have no idea that Founders was brewing that.
It's a 2020 limited release. It's 8% alcohol, 20 IBUs. It is an Imperial Golden Ale with coffee, cocoa nibs, vanilla, and milk sugar.
I think I would like that.
I tried one last night. It's really good.
I heard about it on Alcohol Eggs. Alcohol Eggs educates me. Alcohol Eggs educates me, and I run the dang thing.
Yeah. All right. And now for the most shocking product. This is one from D9. You were talking about D9. You've got that sour ale from D9 that's supposed to be green that you're going to do here pretty soon. I couldn't find that one. But I found one from them. It's called Superstitious Pigeons. It's kind of a crazy name. It's a sour ale brewed with peanut butter and raspberries. And that is, I know that sounds insane. It is insane. It's 5%, so it's a session, really. I tried one last night as well. Really, really good. You wouldn't think sour, like peanut butter and sour, I don't know, but this is an incredible beer. So,
and it's only $34.99 a bottle.
Yes, $34.99 a bottle. No, it was the 6-pack was $10.99, so not terrible.
Oh, okay.
And this is I mean, I'm gonna post a review later, but this is like a 97 out of 100, so well worth it.
Well, look, just take into account Michael may have to jet out of here at any moment due to extracurricular situations.
She hasn't made any approaches to the door, so this is all pretty good. She just came out and said, "Hey, I'm up," and then she went back in. So I guess I'm pretty.
We got to take into account Michael may have to jet out. Well, I have even more shocking news.
All right.
After I left that rather exuberant get together at the hot rod shop, I was advised to go to the salvage store to buy these snifter glasses for $2, which I never could find. And my friend David told me, I'm gonna find them. He was on the phone. I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll talk to you later. Well, good luck with whatever you're dealing with. But anyway, but like you told me this morning, I'm feeling okay. Ha ha ha. Anyway, I was at the salvage store. I did not find the glasses, which I was irritated about, but I did see this for $11.99 a 30-pack. Mark my words, what I just said. $11.99 a 30-pack.
Keystone Light. Very cool can there. Delightful. That is it. Oh, it's a.
You might want to highlight me right now.
Oh, yeah, it's not regular Keystone. Raspberry lime. All right.
Might want to highlight me right now.
Yeah, I can pull you up. All right, easy. So demanding over there.
I'm sorry. That's Louisiana people are very.
That's only 40 cents a can. That sounds like a steal.
That's an insane. First of all, I've never heard of that. I've never seen it. I hope I can find it here. And for $11.99 a 30-pack, wow.
John, 40 cents a can.
That's awesome. I love that.
I did not buy the 30-pack. I bought the 12-pack for $5.99. I figured, well,
that's still a good price.
Yeah. So there's got this English Bulldog wearing sunglasses, and it's Keystone Light flavored with natural flavors. It's not artificial flavors. It's raspberry lime, and it's strange. Now, the one I drank last night, the beer wasn't cold enough. So believe me, y'all, you don't want to drink it warm. All right. They had Murphy's Irish Stout. I'm not making this up. Murphy's Irish Stout, $3.99 a 4-pack.
That's a really good price.
I
cheaper
know.
Than juice.
I called David on the phone, and cheaper than what?
Juicy juice.
The administrator says that's cheaper than juicy juice.
Right. Now, I called David on the phone, but he wasn't exactly necessarily in the condition to go over there and do some shopping. But maybe today or tomorrow. But here's another one he gave me because he was saying, ain't nobody going to drink it. Ain't nobody going to drink it. Yeah. Take them. And I said, okay. So I just grabbed the 2 cans and was out of there because I knew nobody was going to drink them. But this is from Rochester, New York. And we know who's in Rochester, New York.
Genesee.
Yeah. But here's a product that you could drink if you have no self-respect.
Oh, the Sneaky Tiki. I've had that. I've actually reviewed that. I've had that one, and they make a red label one. It's more of a fruit punch style. That one, it's really good. The nutmeg in there is what really set it off for me.
Yeah, pineapple, coconut, and a hint of nutmeg, and look at the ABV.
Isn't it like 9 or 10? Yeah, 9.9. Yeah. I think you'll actually like that, Ron. That's up there with the Club Tails as far as quality, and the Club Tails are 10%, so it's right there in that same ballpark.
Yeah, you know what the interesting thing is? It says flavored beer, not flavored malt liquor. It says flavored beer at 9.9. So somebody flew under the radar, and it's natural flavors. And golly, I would beg people, I beg you not to drink more than 1 can over about a 6-hour period because you would not like the results.
Jeremy would like it. He said he has no self-respect, so it sounds like it'd be one he'd like to try.
I'm kind of like that too. And now, can I show one more thing?
Please do.
You kick me off, I won't take offense because I know I'm
going too
far. I'm like,
all right, people off.
$10 a bottle. This is a regular size bottle. $10. Well, actually, it was $9.99. $9.99 for this. I did some online searches. Everybody else had it for $22, $23. $9.99, people. True story.
That's a deal.
Second, here's John Anili always busts my chops about I'm not a real man because I don't drink single malts. And I said, you know what? He's right. I need to learn how to live a little, become a real person. So I bought this.
Glen Moray.
Yes, I have had that. The Elgin Classic. I have had that one. I did review that one, I'm pretty sure, on my channel a long time ago. Mine didn't come in that fancy box. Yes.
I got this at Walmart. It was $24.99. I thought that was a good price for a single malt scotch.
I think I paid $2. I think I paid $26.99, which I was still pleased with that value because single malt scotch gets very pricey very quick.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it. That's it for show and tell on my end.
Ready for my delving into the dark side?
Yeah, of course.
You ready?
Maybe.
Oh,
Michael.
Michael. What?
Don't do it. Don't do it. Spike Calypso. Coke Colada. Oh, I've had the colada. It's like a pina colada.
How is it? Is it any good? I got it for $1.
Well, if you like sweet, if you like you ever had a pina colada?
Yes, I have. Does it taste like that?
Yeah, it's like a pina colada flavored beer. It's 8% though, so don't.
Yeah, I'm saying it's 8% and it's a pint 7.5, so it's almost two beers, a little less, 23.5 ounces. You know, I don't know if you guys ever see this in stores. This isn't a distributor. They have like a supermarket, like the thing you get your groceries in, a cart, and in the cart, anything inside is $1. It's mostly
yeah, we get that, but not that cheap.
okay. It's mostly junk. In other words, it's not stuff you'd buy. But they had one of these, and the only reason I would even buy it is I watch on some of the things that we do. People do stuff like this. Ronnie S. does stuff like this.
Yes, and I think it's from Rochester, New York.
Let's see what they say.
It's from Illinois. It's Seagram.
Let's see where it's from. Rochester, New York, Seagram Beverage Company. It's probably made by Jenny.
Yeah, right. Secondly, it's in a can and it's 8%. So even if it's old, it ain't gonna matter much. It's probably gonna hold its own.
Also, my wife hates food coloring, and it has FD and C blue #1. That got me excited. I like food coloring and this kind of stuff. I think it's cool.
So think of a 2-year-old child's birthday cake with the blue icing. You pretty much got it.
But I'll let you know. And it's funny, I could even bring this to a Wild Card Wednesday.
Right. I was just thinking about that. That would be really interesting. People would just
because then my regular fandom would see me in action, not drinking a craft beer, and they'd be excited.
Right. And I could bring this to Wild Card Wednesday.
But I know this next Wild Card Wednesday is going to be the seafood special, or it's not the Wild Card Wednesday. It's the normal first of the month.
Yeah, beers that you could pair with seafood.
I got something. So
yeah, me too.
I will surprise you on Wednesday. Tomorrow on Bumpy's Malty Monday, Gozes.
Yeah, I think I'm going to skip that one. Because Gozes to me tastes like, oh yeah, Cayman Jack is good, John. Gozes to me tastes like Gatorade. Ugh.
Well, the one I have is the one, if you look at the thing I did yesterday, it was the one from Founders, the Green Zebra. That's a Goza with watermelon in it that's really tasty. It's a very good Goza.
That's one of the few Gozas that I thought was worth trying.
And that did very well. See, it's funny also, and this is just the way I think people who are more novice-like raters do. If it tastes interesting to them, where it has sweetness and some of the other normal characteristics, like in a Goza, they're going to rate that high. Where when you give them something more complex to rate, like a sour, like that Victory is, they're going to find it scary to them because it's so different, and they're going to rate it more harshly. That's again, I've been doing this now probably about 3 or 4 years now with these different ratings and the different ones I've been doing. So I watch how people do it, but I can't arbitrarily cut out people's numbers in them and just say, okay, you rated it a 5, it's out. So I set the thing with a 2-point thing. Now let's say she gave it a 5. If the next rating above was 7.25, I would just X her out. But there was a 7. Somebody gave it a 7, so I had to leave it in. That's all.
Right. Oh well, got to deal with it. You got to deal with it.
Mickey's Malt Liquor and Seafood, I don't know, but if it turns Jeremy on, then it's cool.
Yeah, well, Mickey's is sort of like a Hellesbach, and that would pair well with seafood, like raw oysters or charbroiled oysters or boiled shrimp, something like that. Yeah,
it's going to be one, Jay, that we've done, which is extremely arbitrary if you think about it. So it's up to your personal
right.
taste.
I mean, you could make the argument that any beer would go well with seafood, but I think it would be sort of a stretch. I mean, I don't know too many people that's going to say Yeah, man. Anytime I eat fried seafood, I get some KBS. Come on, you don't.
barrel aged stouts do not go well with seafood unless I guess it would have to be weird seafood. Some strange recipe or something where there's alcohol cooked in it or something. Otherwise, I can't understand.
I don't really care as long as they can sort of justify what they're proposing, and defend it without getting their feelings hurt. I've really only had one person come on the Hangouts that made a score and then got their feelings hurt when they couldn't justify it. But aside from that,
I know who you're talking about.
One thing I actually have to say, the people who are on these various sites, the ones that we do, I don't do all the ones. I don't do some of the ones like John does on the weekend with some of the other people. But in the groups, I think everybody is at least understanding of the people's feelings. So you're not going to jump on somebody. But if you disagree, you're just going to tell them you don't agree. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right. No, I don't jump on people. I've asked questions before.
You certainly can. Isn't that what the reason we have beer groups are? So we can.
You would assume, or it's not just group think. Like everybody has to think the same way.
You want to have differences. It's okay, and I'm going to be very interested how much this does taste like pina colada too, because it's telling you.
If you like pina colada, I think you'll be happy with it, Michael. It does taste pretty much like a pina colada.
Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do it next week. In other words, a week from this Wednesday, the next Wild Card Wednesday, I'll do it. Right? I mean, I've had it now. I can get more of it in this cart. There were plenty of them. So I can go back.
that would be a great Wild Card Wednesday product. I wouldn't be too good with seafood, I don't suppose. But hey, Friar Tuck. I think people are too strange or funny about stuff, because if you're doing beer reviews and you can't defend your position, why are you doing beer reviews? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think some people went back to a prominent beer reviewer and told them, hey, they're attacking you on their channel for your beer reviews. But we weren't attacking him. We were just saying we didn't understand his approach of giving a beer a point less because it didn't have a canned on date, a 10% drop off. That's all we were saying,
Jay, I have this ongoing thing on still, even now, going on with Greg. I see his review.
Yeah, I was trying not to name anybody, but
make a comment, and he sends it back, and he says, I review that way because that's the way it should be. Now, I still don't get it, why he does it, but he can review any way he wants. But how can you take off a point if you admit that it's an A? How can you make it a B because it doesn't have the date on it? That is stupid.
Right. See, I was more diplomatic. About it. Mike
told him it was stupid.
Right.
You gotta call it like it is.
No, he wasn't mad at me. He sent it back and he says that's how I review it. Good. I guess you're going to continue to do it, and life is life, and I'll go on. I won't lose any sleep over Greg giving it a B, but it's crazy.
Right, because you already said, well,
you said what it was, so how can you lower the rating? That's not going to get the beer company to put the date on it. They don't care if you give it a B or an A. It's not going to change how they market their beer. What does he think? Greg is the key to our marketing strategy? I doubt it. I hope not.
Right, because you say, well, this is a 95 beer.
I'm dropping it to 86 because it doesn't have the date on it. Brilliant.
Well, you already said it's a 95.
Yeah, it's a 95. Make it a 95. Tell them to put the date on it. That's all fine. Look, I agree with him. It should have the date on it. I'm not saying it doesn't. You can't punish it because it doesn't. That's right. Rant with me. I'm ready. I'll start my own channel, ranting with me.
That could be the net. It could be ranting with Mike.
That's it. No,
that's good.
I don't pick on anybody, but he does answer me fairly, and he does answer my thing. He doesn't evade it. He says, this is how I'm doing it. Well, continue if that's what you want, Greg. It's okay.
Jeremy Vincent actually made a video. It's on his channel. I'll go check it out if you hadn't seen it, where he takes a compilation of all of like Greg, where he's doing his different beer reviews and he's talking about the date. It's actually really funny.
I'll have to check it out. Jean-Pierre is liking my rant, and John's one of my big fans, so I'm happy he's responding. Are you guys going to be affected by hurricane, or now it's still tropical storm Isaias? What's his name?
Yeah, no, we're not going to be. Maybe people on the
John,
screen.
you might be, believe it or not, because they're saying now if it hits the Georgia coast, you may get rain.
Yeah, if anything, I'll get a little rain, but that'd be it. But the last projected path that I saw, once it hits Florida, it's just going to go up the up the coast on the Atlantic side. So
supposed to hit us directly in New York City right now if it goes on the current track.
Yeah, it's just going to be a pretty minor situation. I think
it'll be a tropical storm with 65-mile-an-hour winds. That'll do some damage though here because we get urban flooding, which can be kind of a pain. Yeah. I'm on a high hill here where I live. I'll tell you right now, if we flood, Brooklyn is underwater because we're high. So if this south of me, it not too far, a couple of blocks, is like more low-lying. We're up on kind of a hill. Jay, you even remember when you walked here. So you had to come up that hill when you came to my house. We're on a hill.
I didn't notice that, but I remember when I was in the Bronx where my hotel was, I didn't realize the Bronx was so hilly. Like there's big hills in the Bronx and you're in the middle of a city, and then there's big boulders like sticking out the side of the ground. Like you're walking down the city street and there's a huge boulder. Like, I'm not joking. I'm like, I didn't realize New York was so rocky, you know?
It is rocky, and we'll see what happens. We're still 2 days away from when it's going to hit New York too. So it's not like it's just hitting Florida now. So it has to come up the coast. It's going to hit North Carolina hard. They're saying the Outer Banks, and that's the track. But we'll see what happens. Right now, it's just a tropical storm. They think it's going to be a hurricane, though. Again, they think it's going to.
Yeah, it might be a category 1,
a Cat 1, which is what, 75 miles an hour or more?
74 or more, yeah. Well, John, I'm gonna have to get going, but I have these ideas. So we're gonna do the beers to pair with seafood Wednesday. The next Wednesday, the rest of the month will just be a wild card. They got Goza tomorrow night at Multi Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I know they do that contest thing on Wednesday nights after we're finished.
But guess the ABV or guess the...
Yeah, I've been meaning to join for a while. If Mike, if you're watching this, it's not personal. I really want to join, but 8:30, it doesn't even start till 8:30, and Wednesday, Thursday are two of my busiest work days. I just can't stay up that late because it goes on till like midnight, Anyway.
Yeah, and I do that early morning dawn busters, so
right.
It's just a scheduling thing for me. It's like Alex. I would join Alex every Friday, but I don't eat a big meal at night. If they did it at lunchtime, I'd join.
Right. Well, guys, we'll go ahead and wrap this Stout Sunday up. Thanks so much for joining, and thanks to everybody in the chat. We had a really good chat going today. A lot of great comments.
Yeah.
So thank you to my lovely panelists for joining. Thank you to the lovely chat. Hope everybody has a great rest of their weekend. And we'll see you all on the next one. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Thank you. Cheers.